What's good, everyone? My name is Casey Crutchfield, and welcome to episode 18 of Enjoy Life. Before we get started here today, please hit that like and subscribe button, and don't forget to leave a comment. Truly appreciate reading all the comments to get y'all feedback. And thank you to all the viewers for your love and support. I truly appreciate it. And thank you to the viewers for all your love and support. I truly appreciate it. It means the world to me. We're going to keep on going and give out great episodes for y'all. But without further ado, we have a little bit of an ISO episode today. It's going to be our second one like this. The first one got some pretty good reviews. I got some good feedback from people. So I think we're going to make it a little every month thing. You know, now that I'm in grad school, kind of gives me an easier opportunity to just take 1 week out of the month and, reflect, talk about what's to come and not have to sit down with anyone. But as you can see, we have the Enjoy Life hats on. Got the white and black one and the tan one right here. Shout out to Ken's for hooking me up. Basically, what that's going to be for is a giveaway that we'll be doing in the near future. We'll be picking 3 lucky winners, and they will win one of these hats. They can pick whichever one they want, and we'll be also including some other things for y'all. That's what we're working out right now. So once we get that set in stone, we're going to give y'all the instructions for everything on the Instagram and everything like that. But I just wanted to do that to kind of say thank you in a way for all your support so far. You know, just kind of looking back on things, we're at about 250 subs, 500, inching 500 on Instagram, and TikTok maybe 800. So like I said before, I'm just grateful, and I want to kind of give something back to y'all. So please rep the hats if you win, and who knows, maybe we'll sell them in the future. But just to kind of give y'all a personal update on what's been going on with me. Before I get into like the school side of things of my personal update, I want to mention to go check out Darkest Hour podcast. I realize I really didn't talk about it that much in my last ISO episode, but pretty much what's going on over there, me and my great friend Sherman Wilson, I actually had him on the podcast here. So go check out that episode. He's a great person, great guy. We actually started our own podcast that we co-host called Darkest Hour, where we just kind of sit down with people and talk about how their darkest hour helps shape their brightest moments. We got some exciting stuff to come over there, so please go support that channel. Go subscribe, go like. It's hard to balance it all sometimes, I guess, kind of reflecting, 2 podcasts and school, but I feel like when you're doing something that you really love, it really doesn't matter, and you'll find time for it. Like right now, I'm doing this after work, and I just got back from the gym, but I know I got to get an episode out for y'all, so I'm sorry if I sound tired or anything, but yeah, man. So school, I am in grad school for clinical mental health at Nichols, and it's pretty exciting so far. Very different, I'm kind of used to like 50-minute classes, so now having 3-hour classes at night. I've never had a night class either. It's a little weird, just like speaking to this camera by myself right now. But I'm really excited to see what this chapter in my life does, because I've always wanted to be a counselor, really. I mean, since I was 16, with the accident with when I got diagnosed with epilepsy, I sought out counseling, and I met a great counselor. He honestly helped shape who I am today. And, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be the man I am today. So I'm truly grateful for him. Really am. And that's what I want to do for someone else. I want to be able to be that person to help pick them back up, get back on their feet. And specifically, I really want to go into sports and telehealth. Sports, because I think it's important for athletes to be at their best when it comes to mental health aspect of things. Because, those guys are looked at as rock stars. People adore them, big fans. And that comes with a lot of pressure. And, I think sometimes we forget that they're human and, they go through things like us and they have struggles. So to be able to be there for them and to hear their problems and to help them, that would mean a lot to me. And then telehealth is something that I've always wanted to do because there's a lot of people who are just straight up scared to go to counseling in person. They might feel embarrassed to walk into a clinic or something, be seen by someone. But, even if that's not your thing, even though I would recommend to go in person, people still need counseling. So just being able to be there for those people who are a little bit too scared or don't feel comfortable with going in person, I want to be able to help them, whether it's through Zoom or however that's done. So I'm really excited about those two things. And we got 2.5 years of grad school, so we're going to ride it out and see how it goes. And y'all are going to be with me throughout this podcast, hearing more about it. So it's really hasn't been that much so far. We're only like 2 or 3 weeks in, not too much. And I only have class every other week. But we're going to move on to some of the episodes that we had. Matt Ori, shout out Matt for coming. Any viewer in general, when I get to sit down with them, it's a great time because, time's super valuable. And for them to make time out of their day to come sit down with me and talk, it means a lot. And Matt's a busy guy. He's got his foot in everything in Thibodeau, has a great drive. And I think that's what people our age need to see, need to see that chase for success. And I really enjoyed that one. But I also had my brother Darius Coleman on. That one really meant a lot to me because he was the first person to hit me up and ask to come on the podcast. I was eating at Walk-Ons with my mom. Shout out, Mom. And he just came up to me and he was like, let me get on the pod, bro. So I had to get him on there at some point. It was kind of a while ago he mentioned it, but also it was fun to have Darius on just because he comes from beginnings that he maybe didn't have everything. He had a loving family and all of that, but as far as going on vacations and stuff, like he said, they really never did that. So to see him become such a successful person and be able to provide extra and then some for his own family now, that's just great to hear. And hopefully I want to be in a position that way, to be able to help out my family and all my friends. I think that'd be a great position to be in. That's really what I want to strive to do. But after him, we had my boy Brandon on. I was excited to run that one back because unfortunately he lost the audio, getting new to all the mics and stuff. By the way, I love the clip-on mics. It's way easier. I'm tired of just holding a mic. But having Brandon on really meant a lot just because I guess it hits home when I have someone who's had something, significant happen to them, because I guess I can relate a little with the epilepsy. And for him to still be able to play baseball with 9 fingers, just amazes me. It just shows how good God is and how literally you can do anything if you just put your faith in him. And he won 2 Golden Gloves. I thought that was the funniest part. And kind of backtrack, one of the funniest parts that I thought of me and Darius's episode was when we talked about drinking out of the hose pipe. I used to do that. I'm a little sketch about it now, but I feel like growing up that really wasn't a big deal. If you drink in the hose pipe, please comment, or through the hose pipe, whatever. Please comment because I'm curious. But we're gonna move on into this Q&A. Like I said, this episode won't be too long. Gotta find these questions. I hope y'all had a wonderful day. It was a long one for me. And before I get into these, I just want to spread some wisdom for y'all. Or not wisdom, just kind of share something from my day. because speaking of Sherm, who I mentioned earlier, he said something on my episode that really hit home for me today. Uh, in the episode, he talks about, I mentioned how we might have bad days, but they lead to better things. And he kind of corrected me and said, you don't even have bad days, it's just bad moments. Whether you let that bad moment determine your day or not is on you. And then I ain't gonna lie, it's been a little rough. If you know me well, you know I lose everything. I would definitely be the person to win a lottery ticket, like $1 million, and lose it. Like I lose everything so bad, lose my wallet, lose my keys all the time. Well, in this circumstance, I've lost my keys and I do not know where they're at still. And this morning, I was so mad, like just so mad at myself. I'm like, why can't I find these damn keys? I'm rocking out with the spares right now. But I was so mad, like just extremely mad, like thought my day was ruined. And then I saw the short that I made when he said that, and I was like, well, it was early too. Like I get up at around 7, so I'm like, the day is not even close to being over. So let's make this bad moment a bad moment, and let's keep on going throughout our day. And I think what helped the most, I said 2 rosaries. Kind of didn't even ask to find my keys. I just kind of asked to not feel aggravated, I guess, if that makes sense. I didn't want to feel so mad the whole day and just mad at myself for not being able to find my keys. So after I did that, it just helped me realize like I don't want to necessarily ask to find my keys. I just don't want to be mad. I don't want to be upset at myself. And honestly, after I said my prayers and I went along my day, I felt so much better. And I just think it's crazy how God works. I just wanted to share that with y'all about my day. But moving on, let's get into this Q&A. So shout out if you sent a question, by the way. We got more questions than last time. Starting off, what are some things that you like to do when you have some off time? This is a great question. So one of my favorite things to do, like if I don't have work or school or anything, uh, I like to go drive by myself, and I'll usually go get my favorite food. So one example I'll give, I am a big fan of Moe's. If you know me well, you know I love Moe's, best burritos, bowls, etc. Chipotle is overrated. I don't care what anyone says. I'll stand on that. Moe's, Chipotle. But I'll go drive to Homa and get Moe's and just kind of eat by myself. I know that sounds weird eating by yourself. You know, some people are like, oh, it's cool. And other people are like, that is weird. In my opinion, I don't know. I kind of like being by myself, you know, kind of getting that alone time. I think it's a good time to just kind of reflect and kind of think on stuff, whether it's, you know, about what I got to do or looking back on things, you know. I find myself when I'm driving, I'll think about the most random thoughts. So I'd probably say that, you know, just getting that alone time and thinking by myself, eat my favorite food, that'll make me happy for the day. Another thing I like to do on my alone or not alone time, my free time is hang out with the bros. Uh, the boys know who they are. I'm not gonna shout everyone out, but I'm gonna shout out Top G on this one because I saw a short that he made, and it makes me think about my friends all the time. And it went something like, you know, you can have $5 or $500 million, but if you're sitting with your boys, you know, you can't beat anything. You know, it doesn't matter how much money you have. But going into the next question, because I feel like I kind of stressed that one out. Do you find you are happier with life now than you were before you started the podcast? That's an interesting question. I don't want to say no because I feel like that assumes that I wasn't happy before. And I mean, I've always seen I'm usually a happy guy. Sometimes I'll have my moments, especially if you know me. Uh, but I would say I'm more eager now. Like I guess since I've started this, I'm always looking at who's next, who I want on the podcast. Always either doing something with editing or something in my life is involved with doing this, even if it's not me talking to this dumb camera by myself right now. But I mean, I don't know. I'm happier no matter what. So I'm gonna say like yes and no. Next question. Oh gosh, and I already know who's saying this question. Thoughts on the amount of wins that LSU finishes with after last week's game? Uh, all I'm gonna say, man, is that LSU game hurt really bad. Uh, I mean, 5 seasons without winning the home opener just kind of blows my mind. Like, it's like we're setting ourselves up for failure in the beginning. But to answer your question, I'm honestly gonna have to go look at the schedule right now, and I'll tell you how many wins. Next week against Nichols, dub. South Carolina, dub. UCLA, dub. South Alabama. As for Ole Miss is gonna be close, so I won't count that one. I think we could beat Arkansas, Texas A&M. Bama's gonna be questionable. We're gonna beat the brakes off of Florida. Sorry, Jack. I love you. I know you're out there in Gainesville. Vanderbilt and Oklahoma. Oklahoma's gonna be a tough one too. But that's around I'd say around 8 or 9, John. So your bet of 8.5 or 9.5 wins is gonna be close, brother. But anyways, next question. What are some tips and practices that you would recommend for people to enjoy life? So, before I give any of my recommendations or anything, I just want to say that everyone's different in their own way. So, my way of practicing to enjoy life may be different from yours. So, the first thing I would say is find something that you enjoy to do, which sounds kind of, you know, out there, but that's true. Uh, One thing I like to do, and I kind of said this earlier on the free time, is that I just like to be by myself sometimes. And I just think that one thing that's super important is just self-reflection or being able to, kind of be honest with yourself. I think sometimes we try and cut the corner sometimes and try and avoid some hard things. Everyone struggles with something, and I think it's just important to kind of sit back and be honest with yourself. Because when you're honest with yourself, after that, that's where you start to enjoy things. So I would say, just kind of have that alone time and be able to sit and be honest with yourself. Another tip is just to surround yourself in a good environment. If you're in a bad environment, bad vibes off beat, I mean, you're setting yourself up for failure. So I'd say keep yourself in a good environment and just have positive vibes and trust in God, baby. Gang, gang. Shout out Theo. Next question. How has having your own podcast changed perspective on life and everything else? Y'all are coming out with some great questions today. Uh, I would say it's changed my perspective on, hmm, y'all got me here. maybe on like just social media as a whole, if that makes sense. I don't know if social media is the right word, but I'd just say I look at it differently how like the process of uploading videos, like I really didn't know how all that went, so I just kind of assumed it was an easy process, but I've definitely learned that it's not. I'd say I've also learned that you're gonna have major hiccups in the road, which not saying that I didn't know that already, but it's definitely like came to more perspective just because I mean if I'm gonna be honest, I had some people who low key screwed me over. I'm not gonna say who, it's one person in particular I'm thinking about. No one knows who I'm talking about, so I don't feel guilty calling them out. But it just kind of gave me that thought of like, you know, it's not everything sunshines and rainbows when it comes to creating a podcast. So I think I've had to change my perspective and appreciate the little things and just try and focus to do my best and rely on myself more than other people because I'm the only one that I can hold accountable for my actions, if that makes sense. And I'd probably say, um, I don't know, changing perspective or the way I look at things is kind of a deep question. I might skip that one and answer it more. Next question is, what is your go-to Cane's and Chick-fil-A order? So if I'm going to Chick-fil-A, which Chick-fil-A is honestly probably my favorite fast food, I get Chick-fil-A the most easily. Gotta get the spicy chicken deluxe with American cheese, no tomatoes. Tomatoes are gross. If it's a good day, then I'll go with bacon, but I can go without it. It's a good sandwich. You really don't need it. Chick-fil-A sauce and ketchup. When you dip the fries, you gotta mix the Chick-fil-A sauce and ketchup. And Emily, I'm sorry I dogged you the first time you did it because I hassled you, but it does taste good. So make sure you get that. And then last but not least, large Powerade, either light ice or no ice. Because if you just let them do it normal, you get 25% drink, 75% ice. And drinks these days cost like $3.50. Like, I don't know what's up with that. Like $2-3 for a drink that you fill up. I don't know. Something about that just throws me off. Y'all can say how y'all feel, but as far as Cane's is concerned, gotta get the box combo for chicken fingers, extra crispy. Because if you're not getting the extra crispy, you're doing it wrong. Even though sometimes the workers sell me out and don't do it extra crispy, sometimes it's hit or miss. But I still appreciate you if you work at Cane's. Love y'all. Uh, and yeah, no coleslaw. The coleslaw is nasty, just very nasty. And it's always nice to have two breads because the bread is low key the best part. And I also want to throw in there if you're going to Cane's, make sure you get hot sauce to mix with the cane sauce. It is I'm talking next level game changer. Just trust me once. I forgot who put me on, but literally after they showed me everyone who I get Cane's with, I'm like, bro, get some hot sauce, mix it in there. It just makes it so much better, like 100%. But yes, that was a great question, and those are definitely my go-to orders. So if you want to bless me with Cane's or Chick-fil-A, now y'all know. So what is it with the food questions today? If you could only eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be? All of my roommates and all of my close friends who are watching this, they're gonna know this before I even say it. But hands down, it would have to be pizza. Pizza is like my favorite food in the world. I tell my mom once I finish working and everything, I want to be like Dave Portnoy and just go eat pizza. Except pepperoni. I can't do just cheese. That's too basic. Even though pepperoni's basic, but That is definitely my favorite food. I could eat it every day. No joke, every day. Maybe get a different kind, Brooklyn one day. Thin crust. Thin crust is the best. And then I also like the blaze or the lit pizza. Those are good when it goes in the oven. Yeah, pizza in general is just good. But next question, what's one habit or routine that keeps you grounded every day? That's a good question too. I feel like I say every question's a good question, but um one habit or routine. I would say one routine that keeps me grounded definitely is saying my prayers at night. Uh I hate to get so personal, but at night, usually I prefer to go outside and pray, stars and stuff. It looks cool. But I find that's definitely like the best routine that keeps me grounded because it's a good part where like I said, I'm by myself and I say my prayers first and then I just kind of think about my day, what I did good, what I did bad, what I can do better, what I want to do tomorrow. And, just kind of, I don't know, just get that one-on-one time. And, you know, I swear I can't go to sleep if I don't say my prayers. Like, if I end up going straight in bed, I'll be up all night until I say them. So I would definitely say that's probably the routine that keeps me grounded. Go and say those prayers at night for sure. Next question. If you could have any superpower, what would it be and why? Hmm. This one's hard because I've been watching a lot of superhero movies lately, and I'm a big Marvel guy. I love Marvel movies, but I would say like a basic superpower, I would say super speed. I love what's his name from The Incredibles with the super speed. I don't know why it's blanking on me. Dash. There we go. Uh, super speed would be the coolest one for sure. Next question, which is the last one I'll be doing. Last question. What's a personal goal you're currently working on outside of the podcast? Hmm. Outside of the podcast, that's a good question. Um, I guess it would be to get my master's, you know. Uh, that'd really mean the world to me because then I'd finally be another step closer to becoming a counselor. And like I said earlier, it's one of my main goals that I have, besides building this up to be successful. Not saying that it's not successful already, but outside of the podcast, I want to be a great counselor. I want to be able to help others, and especially with their struggles and problems that they're going through. So I'd definitely say that's the goal right now, besides this. So we're locked in on those. But thank you guys for sending in the questions. I love answering y'all questions and just to hear back from y'all, that truly means the world to me. And I think we're about to wrap this one up because I'm not gonna lie, guys, I'm getting pretty tired. And it's been a long day. It's been a long day, but I will give y'all more news on the giveaway. Let me know what y'all think about the hats for real because I know I already showed them, but they're super cool. And if you're on Spotify right now, go check them out on Instagram. But with that being said, we're going to wrap this episode up. We got a great one for y'all next week. I'm excited. I'm not going to give any hints on it yet, but I just love y'all, man, so much. I truly appreciate y'all. Y'all are what keeps me going. Uh, whether it's all the likes or, just a specific person telling me, hey, man, keep doing your thing, stay in your lane. I truly appreciate that, and I love you guys. And I know I'm just rambling, so I'm gonna wrap this up. Please like, comment, subscribe. God bless you. We out.